Hey Stuart, just wanted to give you a quick overview again of the Box tool and how we're using it. I'm also sending you just some quick doco on CMS tags and things. But the basics are like this. Box, you're going to draw regions. And if you have just a simple region, you would go ahead and put a CMS tag in that region and say what the view is. Now, the way we're coding it, you can put the view name navigation here, and you can do shorthand like horizontal. Okay, this is the same as doing CMS view equals navigation layout equals horizontal. Okay, so same tag would produce the same results. You can type it either way. We take this information and interpret it and turn it into what is actually has to go in the page. The attributes that are supported are view, layout, path, which you'll hardly ever use, and then also my cheat sheet here, ID. Yeah, so if you want to put a HTML ID in the page, you can say my page, that kind of thing. All right, and then we'll pull that out, include that in the code that's generated that you're going to use. All right. In any case, you have the code entered in the page, and you've got a region here. Now you might have a need to do something a little more complex, like have a region here with things stacked, because the way Box works is that if you want this to line up with this, then you need to put these two regions in one containing div. All right, so here I can come and say CMS sub navigation, maybe vertical. Okay, so I'm going to run a vertical subnav. And then here I might say CMS ads locator. Alright, and then over here I might say CMS detail. Okay, so we pretty much code the same thing every time. There's only a dozen tags, if that go into any one layout. It's just a matter of how you combine them and display them on the page. Okay? Once that's done, you know how to export it, generate the stuff, and then feed it through Livewire to get the results. And again, the JSP mechanism results in a page that is going to be something like this. So let's go to work area, select that, fire up Livewire, and then do it. Okay, so here's the page I just created on the fly, and you can see what we've added now. We've taken what came out of Box here, the span 24 last. We set the ID to navigation from the view name so that we can use that to reference that in our CSS. We have added a tag that indicates this is going to be horizontal information. What's coming is horizontal. So there's pre-canned CSS that knows how to lay out the unordered list in a horizontal format. You don't have to do anything there. We also include a spacing class here. This is where we do our padding. We do not do the padding on the box tags because that breaks Box. Alright, and then this ID is the arbitrary ID that I just passed into the page. The last thing we do is we add an additional div inside with just a class of a line on it. So if you want to float this whole thing to the right or the left, you float it at this level. If you floated it down on the unordered list, what happens is all your list items end up getting listed backwards. So instead of doing that, we want to position and float at the align level so that we can still have the items presented in the same order that they are in the CMS system. Okay. One last note too on Box. One of the things you can do here is say I want this. We talked about wrapper going away. Well, this is my navigation view. If I want to put a wrapper around the whole thing, I can say navigation wrapper. Alright, and what that will do is when we generate the code here, it's going to go out and produce a wrapper level class that basically gives me a whole other container. So when I see my wrapper here, I've got my container here, navigation wrapper, and the container in Blueprint is the magic that's going to give you the width of a section. So you might have multiple containers in a page if you lay them out this way. I'm out of time on my video. I'll explain more later. Thanks.